Rekao sam da ćemo pričati jednom o Minecraftu, ali nećemo se dotaći baš same igrice Minecraft, pošto nema nikakve potrebe da se dotičemo te teme. Ta igrica je napravljena za decu, da bi mogla nešto da prčkaju po kompjuteru, a da ga ne pokvare. Ako ste odrasla osoba i igrate Minecraft, onda stvarno ne razumem, ne znam šta nije u redu s vama. Ali Minecraft toliko dugo postoji već među nama da Minecraft nije samo video igrica više. Na osnovu Minecraftovog stila se pravi razni elektronski sadržaj koji postoji danas na internetu. Ovde govori kako je ovaj content kreator maskirao ovaj video za svaki slučaj više nego što su originalni videozapisi bili, da YouTube slučajno ne bi obrisao njegov video ili demonetizovao ili tako nešto, ali takođe napominje dok ovaj video je ekstra zaštićen, ipak je bio demonetizovan svejedno, a originalni sadržaj na koji je on reagovao je i dalje je u fullu monetizovan i stoji na internetu, iako ne bi smeo. Ajde da vidimo zbog čega. Kaže, Minecraft za decu sadržaj je apsolutno užasan. Da vidimo.
Here we go again.
Idemo na YouTube Kids. Opet će biti, čuvajte se roditelji, pazite šta dajete svoje deci da gleda. Imali smo pre ovoga onaj Coco Melon, nadam se da ste videli. Ko je video to i shvatio ozbiljno, bravo za vas. Ko nije, šta da radim, pretplatite se na moj kanal.
Minecraft Kids content is among some of the most popular and profitable niches on the YouTube platform, and has been ever since the game came out. It's what I, and probably you, if you're watching this video, consumed in some capacity growing up. However, somewhere along the way, things changed, and what once was a community filled with wholesome YouTubers, mostly, who made their content with good morals and intentions in mind, has now been almost completely overrun by selfish vultures who abuse this niche daily, spitting out low-effort, mind-numbing slop content that constantly exposes their viewers to all sorts of shocking, violent, and sexually suggestive.
Pazi, ovo su sličice na video zapisima, oni thumbnailovi. Znači ovo bi trebalo da privuče masu da klikne na to. Pogledaj koji thumbnail. Da li je realno da je ovako nešto dozvoljeno na YouTube-u dok sam ja imao problema oko freaking politike, brate mili.
Imagery for a few extra clicks. All of this was
Pazi, ovo je za
covered in
decu,
my
baš za
previous
decu.
video on the subject. However,
Baš
what
za
I
decu.
didn't mention was that I left a lot of things out in that video. Disgusting, harrowing things that probably would have gotten my channel completely demonetized.
Pa ja, on je blurovo dodatno, pazi, thumbnailove, da ne bi bio demonetizovan ovaj video, dok su ovi video zapisi u fullu monetizovani.
But after seeing the overwhelming support for my last video and the infinite amount of people commenting their personal, horrifying stories with this content, I feel obligated to get to the bottom of this rabbit hole. A rabbit hole worse than you and I could have ever imagined.
Ajmo. Ovo će biti interesantno izgleda.
Alright guys, you ready to have the scariest night of our lives? Yeah, I am! Alrighty, let's figure out where to go first.
The video you just watched is from a channel called AFMAL. AFMAL is one of the many content creators on this platform who makes Minecraft videos specifically catered towards a very young audience. Upon first glance, this content might seem pretty cringeworthy, and that's because it is. I was originally going to make this comparison to the Minecraft YouTubers I watched growing up, but honestly, especially compared to them, this content is very hard to watch. But despite this, there's still one reason all of these channels, old and new, have stuck to and continue to churn out family-friendly orientated Minecraft content: money. While you and I may never watch an AFMAL video in our lives, there is clearly a massive younger audience for it, not necessarily on
To su bre čoveče milioni i milioni
YouTube, but rather its subsidiary app, YouTube Kids. In a census done back
Pa
in
YouTube Kids, to je znači predviđeno samo za decu, tamo odrasli ni ne idu, brate mili.
2021, the United States government discovered that around 75% of households with children under the age of 5 owned some sort of tablet for their kids. And in 2023, it was reported that YouTube Kids had over 600 million individual downloads, with that number going exponentially each year. Unfortunately, it's becoming increasingly common nowadays for newer parents to rely on apps like this as a way to keep keep their child entertained without having to put in any actual effort.
Pazi, ne samo da se zabavljaju, nego bi tu trebali da budu bezbedni od sadržaja za odrasle ljude. Znači ovde bi trebalo da bude isključivo za decu i onda kad daš detetu YouTube Kids, znaš nešto za decu tamo. U stvari, brate mili, oni gledaju nevjerovatne gluposti. Nismo ni svesni šta gledaju, pijaju taj svoj mali mozak. Sa tim odrastaju. Sa tim se razvijaju u odrasle ljude, čoveče. Ako uopšte uspeju da se razviju od silnog ovog kontenta koje te zakržlja u glavi.
Letting them sit and watch hours of content unsupervised under the guise that it's a completely safe way for them to consume content.
Kako
As a
ne?
result, channels like AFMAO earning almost 500 million views
Ovo je
and
nevjerovatno
millions
da je
of dollars
dozvoljeno,
each
ljudi.
month. Fortunately for us, AFMAO is one of the better examples out of this whole niche. She does things by the books, and aside from it being a little cringy, their content is educational, suitable, and safe for kids. AFMAO School, on the other hand, is absolutely unacceptable. They too make Minecraft-related videos targeted towards children. However,
Ovo je sad drugi kanal koji pravi apsolutno neprihvatljive videozapise. Sad ćemo vidjeti o čemu se radi.
the methods in which they gain their views are a little different. Instead of building a reliable and trustworthy brand that both parents and the young viewers who watch can trust, they resort to imitating an already well-known and trustworthy family-friendly content creator and uploading content that uses their original characters in all sorts of sexually suggestive or straight-up violent ways for shock value in order to get more clicks. This manipulative strategy tricks the YouTube algorithm into recommending them alongside videos of the real content creator they're impersonating.
Znači, oni imitiraju originalan content kreatora koji se bavi tim crtićima u Minecraft stilu i onda pravi nepristojne videozapise. Ali tako zamaskira te svoje sličice i videozapise da algoritam prepoznaje kao da je to isto ono za decu i redovno prosleđuje deci kao i originalni video.
Sometimes resulting in these fake videos gaining millions more views than the original. I mean, this channel alone has made roughly over
Čak i taj kanal je
$100,000
uspešniji onda taj plagijatski.
they've been posting content. They also have 118,000 subscribers, which is more than me, so please subscribe. And of course, AFMAO School is just one small example of the many perpetrators who make money this way. Pretty much every Minecraft kids YouTuber you can think of has one, if not multiple, of these garbage-filled impersonation channels made using their brand, all of which are individually made with the sole purpose of generating insane amounts of money, inadvertently exposing a plethora of disgusting and inappropriate themes in their
Vidiš, to je problem kod mene, recimo. Ja ne znam za te stvari, nemam skill da varam ljude, da lažem roditelje, da uvaljujem maloj deci nepristojan sadržaj. Jednostavno nemam taj skill. A da imam taj skill, bio bi milioner, verovatno. Jer u takvom svetu danas živimo. Ja stvarno ne mogu da shvatim više kako je ovo dozvoljeno. Kaže, prevario je algoritam. Ama nosi se, brate, kako je prevario algoritam, pa imate ljudskih osoba tamo da pregledaju i da vide šta se dešava. Ne može YouTube da ne zna za ovako nešto. YouTube-u može samo ovo da odgovara pošto mu donosi novac. I onda se ćuti o tome, dok god roditelji ne i ne progovore, ne dignu svoj glas, onda tek počinje bura. Dotle ovo ima da bude na YouTube-u za vašu decu, nećete ni znati da šta su gledali, da li su gledali ovako nešto nepristojno za njih. Dok vašoj deci ovi ljudi narušavaju zdravlje i u taj njihovi mali mozak ubacuju raznorazno smeće od sadržaja, oni fino zarađuju milione i milione i boli njih dupe. A ja kada izbacim ovako neki video, eto, ponajviše zbog roditelja i zbog naše dece, da budete pažljivi i na oprezu, onda niko neće da klikne ni na like ni na subscribe. To je problem. Ma da, pa možda i treba ovako u stvari da se ponašaju ljudi, možda bi trebao i ja da počnem isto ovo da radim i to bi bilo to. Šta me briga baš.
Content to millions of unexpecting children, included but not limited to.
Jeste vidjeli on? Čekaj da vidim još jedno. Pogledaj ovaj thumbnail, brate mili. Kako je ovo za decu? Kako ovo može da ne vidi neko iz YouTube-a, majke? Ovo je samo jedan, ajmo dalje. Ovo su kao neke, jel, Street Fighterke. Ovo je pa mora da bluruje, ovo ne možemo ni da vidimo. Ne znam ni šta će se desiti sa ovom mojem reakcijom, vjerojatno će i ovo biti na razmatranju za demonetizaciju. Ne mogu ni zaustavim, brate. Šta je ovo? Šta je sad ovo? Mislim, čoveč. Vidi ovo, bre, šta je ovo, bre? Ovo su takvi video zapisi. Ovo je bolesno, ljudi.
But like I said, I've already discussed this before in my previous video. However, what I was very stupid to neglect at the time was that long-form video isn't the only form of media a person can consume on this platform.
Šortevi, da,
with the
najopasniji.
other obviously being YouTube Shorts.
I to deca najviše vole da gledaju, ti šortevi sve na tome sada. Mnogo im je lakše da idu sa svojim prstićem i svipiraju i gledaju, znači na nekoliko sekundi ubace neku budalaštinu u svoj mozak i to je dovoljno da vam poremeti dete. Sasvim dovoljno. A zamisli koliko zgutaju takvog sadržaja ako ih ostavite same na telefonu po nekoliko sati. To je strašno, strašno, ljudi.
To which I've come to learn not only has all of the same problems, but for a myriad of reasons is actually so much worse.
Mnogo je gore.
By doing as little as searching up
Isto koji
Minecraft in
TikTok,
the
isto
YouTube
fore.
search bar.
Samim tim što je taj short sam po sebi nezdrav za ljudski mozak, a ne za decu. A kamoli što se tiče sadržaja u tom shortsu, šta se tu nalazi za njih?
A plethora of different channels posting these quote-unquote Minecraft animations in the Shorts tab, all with preview images that, if left uncensored, would probably get this video demonetized, and all with tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of views each. The main difference between anything I've talked about in the past and these quote-unquote Minecraft animation shorts is the way in which the content gets recommended to viewers. As mentioned previously, the most common strategy for these fake quote-unquote family-friendly channels to lure in new viewers is to create the most shocking and attention-grabbing title and thumbnail they can, whether that be by using gruesome, violent, or sexually suggestive imagery.
Pogledaj ovo sam vidio na početku. Šta je ovo, čoveč?
In order to stand out in the viewer's recommendation feed.
Ja se bojim da ovako nešto stavim na moj sadržaj. Mislim, ne ovako nešto, nego na što mislim. Na ovako neku pozadinu ili šta ja znam. Jedno mi se desilo da sam na svom gaming kanalu, by the way, pretplatite se ukoliko volite ozbiljne video igrice na moj gaming kanal @darkdjpgaming. Imate i ovde na kanalu sve linkove koje treba. Tačno i ovde u opisu imate, možete da kliknete na link i da vas odbaci na taj kanal. Pretplatite se i tamo totalno besplatno. Pre nekako sam na tom kanalu bio stavio zombija za thumbnail, pošto sam igrao Resident Evil koji je pun zombija i potpuno su mi obrisali video zapis zbog freaking zombija. A pogledaj ovo sad. I sad, šta je ovde normalno? Ajme objasni. Znači, bitno je da ti kapiraš algoritam kako da provališ, da zezneš algoritam i onda algoritam sam radi, YouTube-u lepo dobija pare, tebi lepo dobijaš pare, nikom ništa se ne dešava, nažao, osim našoj deci.
Comparison to other videos, subsequently resulting in more clicks, more views, and more money. After all, that's the only reason they even exist in the first place. However, YouTube Shorts work a little differently. Since YouTube limits their shorts to a maximum length of only 60 seconds, as well as having no support for custom thumbnails, these channels instead lure the viewers in with the actual content of the video. And yeah, very quickly it becomes apparent that these quote-unquote animations are just straight softcore using Minecraft to mask itself as family-friendly content to bypass the YouTube Kids algorithm to get, like I said, tens, sometimes hundreds of millions of views each. Not to mention the fact that these channels specifically abuse the system and take advantage of the way YouTube Shorts are set up. Everyone knows that YouTube Shorts has this sort of doom scroll / infinite scroll interface, where instead of giving the viewer a bunch of random recommendations and then allowing them to specifically choose what kind of content they want to consume, the app practically just shoves a bunch of random videos in the viewer's face without a choice, and no matter how much they might not be interested, they will always watch at least a small portion of it before scrolling away. Channels like 11.3 know this, and that's why they made sure to put Minecraft characters that look like this in the very first second of each video. It's not even like they're trying to hide it. This channel, Alex and Steve Animation, which has 5.3 million subscribers and over 1.6 billion views, not only does the exact same thing, but they also have a direct link to a Patreon account that creates fully NSFW drawings and videos.
Wow, znači imaju link, brate, odmah u opisu koji može da ih odvede na to što su gledali, ali u fullu, bez ikakvog blura i maskaradi, znači može da gleda da ko zna šta se nalazi tamo. Definitivno ništa za decu to nije.
Accessible
brate.
by anybody with just one click. The craziest thing is, this isn't even the first time someone's spoken out about these issues. A handful of creators have already made similar videos, both calling out YouTube on this massive problem, as well as encouraging their audience to mass report any bad channels they've mentioned.
Svaka im
But
čast,
every
i treba.
time,
Bili
YouTube
su
manually
demonetizovani.
demonetizes and shadow bans the video and the
I
algorithm.
shadow banovali, ko ne zna šta je shadow ban, to ti kad ti prikriju video, bukvalno neće da šalju drugim ljudima da pregledaju, odnosno ne pokazuju vam se na home feedu nigde. Jednostavno ne možete da pronađete video. Znači u suštini ovo mi govori samo da YouTube hoće da zataška ovo i da zataška ljude koji su progovorili i koji žele da zaustave ovako ponašanje na YouTube-u, međutim izgleda da ih YouTube štiti, drugovi, ništa od toga. Pogledajte i ove grafikone, znači samo jedan put su nestali, nemaju viewership uopšte. Ali dobro, ako ništa drugo, makar su stali negde na oko 500.000, manje od 500.000 pregleda, otprilike tako, strašno.
Specifically for
Svet
showcasing
danas
clips of all
u
the
kojem
nasty
živimo,
things
ovo je
these
nevjerojatno.
channels upload. In fact, friend of the channel and fellow YouTuber the Mr. Epic uploaded 2 separate videos calling out these channels to YouTube while taking the extra step to manually blur and censor
Ko što i
anything
ovaj
that might
radi
be
što sad
considered
gledam.
non-advertiser friendly. Yet still, despite his best
Opet.
efforts, both videos would get demonetized. All the while
Što znači ljudi da verovatno i ova reakcija će isto proći tako da ako god bude kliknuo na ovaj video i dođe do ove tačke, molim vas podržite ovaj video, zapis i moj kanal, zveknite taj like i daj da raširimo bre ovu priču da roditelji znaju. Evo tako su mi ugušili ono za Coco Melon isto, pregledalo vas 50. Mislim, znam da sam trenutno u problemu zato što sam prešao sa politike na ove druge neke sadržaje, pa algoritam Kobojagi ne može da skonta kome treba preporučuje, što manime tih priča, ali vi ste tu da podržite i da pokrenete ceo ovaj sistem. Daj bre da se odbranimo od ovoga, čovječe.
the original content that was being used in his video, and all of the channels related to it are not only still active, but continue to remain
I bez
fully
problema
monetized
monetize,
as
pa
well.
da,
So basically, I'm just
full.
wondering what happened with those 2 videos that got demonetized. Can you kind of explain the situation around that?
First one, which I uploaded last year, that one was demonetized after about, I think, 2 days. Interestingly, what happened was, rather than the video just outright being like stop being pushed and stop being showed, it actually like did this weird thing I haven't seen before where it like intentionally blurred the thumbnail. I hadn't seen that happen before, but I was like, oh well, that sucks. The second video I then uploaded, which was only a few months ago now, I was a lot more careful. Like I went out of my way to censor it even more. Interestingly, this time I actually got more information because I had like a partner manager who I got around the time, and he gave me an update saying that basically it was the thumbnail once again, despite me obviously censoring it more than the original thumbnails, but also this 1-2 second clip of like, I don't even know what characters they are. They're like some weird like kids characters in like a somewhat provocative looking position from another YouTube video, mind you. Yeah. And that was basically it. And this was after a human reviewer plus my partner manager pushing to get it age restricted, and nothing could change. So yeah.
And at this point, you may be wondering why. Why would YouTube, despite obviously having the resources and ability to do so, still not take any action to fix this glaring issue with YouTube and
Što
its
neće,
kids,
brate,
but at the
jasno da
same
neće.
time actively silence anyone who decides to speak out and make a video about it?
Money.
Well, we can't be certain, but my personal theory is that YouTube has been aware of it the whole time.
Kako nije, brate, daj nemoj mi pričati da nije bilo, to su priče za malu decu. Svašta. Pare ljudi, profit. Nebitna su vaša deca.
These channels generate billions of views and by
Nemojte da mislite da YouTube misli na vašu decu zaista. Misli samo na profit. Vi mislite na vašu decu i pazite šta im dajete da gledaju.
an unfathomable amount of money. This revenue is generated entirely from the money advertisers pay to have their ads displayed on these videos, which honestly can be a problem in itself. I'm sure Apple would be just delighted to know that their ad is getting placed on a video and where a popular children's character gets buried alive. Like, what? YouTube splits this
Strašno ljudi. Ja čisto sumnjam da ovi što se reklamiraju znaju za to. Mada i njih baš briga, ako sve to teče kako treba, ako dobijaju novac, ako dobijaju ono što su tražili, baš njih briga za sve to. Dok ovo ne bukne, kažem opet, dok roditelji ne dignu glas, jedino je tako moguće preokrenuti nešto.
Giving 55% of the share to them and keeping 45% for themselves. Once you start to factor in the hundreds of other channels uploading the same inappropriate content that simply haven't been documented yet, most likely thousands if we include the accounts outside of the Minecraft niche posting the same, if not even worse content with other well-known characters. You can start to paint the picture of why YouTube...
Verujem da ima svega. Ako sam čuo ovo sad za Minecraft, verujem da ima svega, brate. Ovako nešto slično.
Theoretically might want to turn a blind eye. It makes up a small but notable chunk of their revenue each year. In YouTube's eyes, throwing all morals, ethics, and damage this content is inflicted.
Evo mi se baš sviđa ovaj crni YouTube znak. Brate, kao da prave animirane filmove za dark web, a ne za malu decu. Tako mi dalo.
Reflecting on the millions of children who use this platform every single day, getting rid of it means that YouTube would be passing up a significant amount of money, and we all know they would never do that.
YouTube ads are getting worse, so YouTube is testing server-side ads on YouTube, which means that instead of using an ad blocker on YouTube to bypass the annoying ad that you get, you're going to be forced to watch it.
So instead, they decided to take the much easier route of ignoring the problem for as long as possible, knowing they have plausible deniability because they could just blame their algorithm or something like that.
Da, kao da je to opravdanje, kao zbunili su algoritam naš glupavi. Napravite pametniji algoritam konačno da i mali content kreatori mogu da se probiju kao ja. Brate, posle 3 godine valjda sam zaslužio da se probije malo. A ne da probijate non stop ovake degenerike koje rade stvari koje su protivzakonite i vi ćutite o tome. Dokle više sa tim, brate? Hoće li se to razrešiti? Hoće li se to očistiti? Hoće li neko odreagovati više na ove budalaštine YouTube-ove?
The idea this was such a big problem, it's just an issue with our algorithm, and quietly rake in massive amounts of money while simultaneously silencing individual creators who make videos attempting to expose and raise awareness about this issue, because unfortunately, we are a much smaller and easier target to deal with.
If my videos, which are like more censored than the ones online, are getting flagged, and the human reviewer is saying that, hey, this is not appropriate, we can't have this, and how are like complete full channels allowed to exist, right? Like they need to fix their human review system and either allow my content or they need to block other content that I've increasingly censored, right? Like it can't be this weird middle ground where somehow my videos are being censored yet the other ones are not.
In my previous video, I touched on the proven and lasting side effects that watching this content from such a young age can do to an individual in the long term. Multiple studies have proven that children's ages 0 to 8, the primary target of both YouTube Kids and these channels, are in the most formative years of their life. Everything they do, learn, and consume in these years play a huge part into shaping the type of person they'll be for the rest of their lives.
To je u stvari problem, da. Znači, ovo su najkritičnije godine gde oni gledaju ove video zapise, gde uče, gde upijaju informacije. To što upiju, to će ih pratiti do kraja života. To ni roditelji, ni društvo, ni profesori, ni učitelji, niko neće moći da iskoreni. Neće ni oni sami znati šta se dešava. To je ukorenjeno u njima. Ovo su vrlo opasne stvari. Ko ovo ne shvata ozbiljno, neće dobro proći sa decom svojom. Ukoliko mu dozvoljava da gleda ovake stvari ili nekontrolisano da gleda šta god hoće. Jer ti ljudi koji rade ovake stvari, oni su izučili psihologiju dečiju i sve živo su izučili savršeno. Oni vrlo dobro znaju šta rade. Sve što im je na pameti jeste profit, ne vaša deca. Vaša deca su kolateralna šteta, zaštitite ih.
This is why traditional kids programming such as PBS Kids always ends with a positive, educational, and age-appropriate lesson being learned. It's because all shows on the network are specifically designed to support a child's development in these crucial years and promote healthy, positive behavior, as seen in their official educational guidelines. But you know what platform isn't properly regulated and is quickly becoming more popular than traditional programming? YouTube and YouTube Kids. Studies show that children exposed to violent and suggestive media at such a young age can develop lasting trauma and create serious damage to the development of the brain. That's exactly what's reflected in the comments of my last video. Ever since I was 9, I've been exposed to sexual content on YouTube, and ever since then, my life has gotten a lot worse. I keep getting random headaches and can't focus on one thing for more than 60 minutes at a time. I've also had a lot of memory losses due to this content, and have sadly developed, not me, but my friend used to watch these videos. He developed a severe addiction. It took him months to stop. When I was little, a bunch of these Minecraft and Elsagate videos popped up, and from then, for 8 years, I am one who was exposed to this. This is an extremely big problem. This is really effective. Messes with the mind. Bro, I used to watch this too, and it's given me horrible trauma and got me addicted to it. I just turned 18 a week ago, and YouTube back in 2016, 2017 messed me up in such a big way. I struggled with so much depression, and being exposed to so much vile content ruined my perception on myself and how I accept.
Ma YouTube može da uništi i odraslog čoveka, a kamoli decu. Sad dok smo imali ovu pandemiju i dok smo bili zatvoreni, YouTube i takvi ti sajtovi su odskočili poprilično visoko sa gledanošću i u tom periodu se svašta nešto razvilo, a isto tako ljudi su nekako više navikli da prate sadržaj preko interneta i s obzirom da je većini bilo vrlo dosadno, ko zna šta ste gledali i šta ste upili u sebe, i verujem da je to moglo da poremeti određene ljude. A o deci da ne pričam. Deca koje ne znaju ništa, koje samo slušaju i upijaju sve to. Bez postavljanja pitanja da li je to dobro ili nije. Zašto bi dete postavljalo to pitanje?
Consciously, and I've lost a lot of my most important years and lessons where I should have been properly taught about that stuff when I was ready. In their official blog post from February 2021, YouTube announced that the YouTube Kids app had over 35 million weekly users. Since then, the app has almost doubled its total number of downloads. So if we do a little bit of math here, accounting for both of these numbers and other things like trends and higher user engagement, this means that every day, the estimated 70 to 80 million users of this platform have a good chance of being exposed to these kinds of videos and then having to deal with the life-altering, long-lasting effects as a result.
Da.
At first glance, people might point the blame at the individuals running these disgusting channels, and while they are definitely at fault here, I believe it's actually YouTube that should be held the most.
Kako ne, znači na ljudima je da pokušaju da urade ovako nešto, isto kao i na kriminalcima da pokušaju da opljačkaju nekog, da urade nešto loše, jel? Ali zato je tu policija koja bi trebala da spreči to, zato je tu sistem, država, da uspostavi neki sistem odbrane protiv ovakvih stvari. Zato je YouTube odgovoran za ovo. YouTube je trebao ovo da reši. A samim tim što je demonetizovao, shadow-banovao ljude koji su hteli da objasne roditeljima šta se zapravo dešava i da dignu glas protiv ovoga, to mi govori sve. To mi govori sve o namerama YouTube-a da njih ukloni. Đavola će da ih ukloni, brate mili, kad im donosi profit.
Responsible. On any social media platform, there will always be malicious people looking to exploit the system for their own personal gain. However, as long as the platform is aware of this and actively tries to fix and prevent those exploits from happening, then the situation can be managed effectively. However, YouTube hasn't exactly had the best track record of doing that.
Da. Zašto me ne začuđuje tako nešto?
In 2017, parents began to complain that strange videos were popping up on YouTube Kids. So lately, every time I go on YouTube, there's these really strange videos showing up on my trending page. I mean, they seem to be aimed at young kids, but they're super creepy and disturbing.
Kako ne, svašta su bili, ja se sećam za YouTube Kids, pa iskaču ovi iz LGBT komune sa svojim nekim videoklipovima za decu. Zamisli koliko je to super, brate mili. Na naslovnoj home page, onom home feedu, ti iskoči tako nešto za decu. Ovo već koji put čujemo ovakve stvari.
These videos almost always use what are otherwise household family-friendly characters such as Spider-Man.
Pa da, iskorišćavaju te poznate IP-ove, isto kao i entertainment što radi sada, pa ih sve pretvara u gej. Tako i oni. Isto ih pretvara u nešto sasvim drugo i predstavlja vašoj deci. Svi hoće da ispiruju mozak. I našoj deci, pa i nama. Ovo je strašno. Svet u kojem živimo, opet ću reći, ovo postaje apsurdno.
Doing a variety of blatantly inappropriate or disturbing things, but tagged in such a way as to circumvent YouTube's child safety algorithms and appear on the homepage of YouTube Kids. This phenomenon
Zamisli, brate, a to je to što sam malo
as more and more of these channels begin to pop up, all with hundreds of millions of views each.
Pazi ti, to su milioni, bre, milioni pregleda i subscribera i šta ti ja znam. Dok neko radi pošteno svoj posao i pokušava da zaradi na normalan način svoj dinar, evo, ovi šta rade je i dozvoljeno im je. Zašto je to tako? Opet ću postaviti pitanje, pa zašto, brate? Gde je pravda, bre, više na ovom svetu, ljudima?
Complaining and demanding a fix from YouTube began to significantly increase, and eventually this disturbing trend would catch the attention of major news outlets who would also begin to raise their alarm bells via a bunch of extremely well-written articles.
If you ever let your child watch YouTube videos, we have got a warning for you. Some people are creating disturbing cartoons, making them appear kid-friendly, only to get your children to watch inappropriate content.
That's for our consumers.
All covering an event commonly referred to.
I sad mogu da zamislim da YouTube reaguje pošto su izašli na vestima sa tim i pošto su roditelji digli glas, 100%.
Yet despite receiving mainstream
S tim što nisu ništa opet uradili. Samo su slagali sve.
YouTube did almost nothing to fix the situation.
Ništa.
Until November 27th of that year, when in a BuzzFeed article, YouTube finally announced they were cracking down on the problem, removing over 150,000 of these inappropriate videos and demonetizing over 2 million more. Please note that this announcement, while positive and overall a pretty big win for the platform, just so happened to occur only 3 days after a bunch of major brands and advertisers had pulled out due to the entire scandal.
Brate, eto šta ih pokreće, znači, eto, vi sad vidite koja je procedura. Znači, bitno je da kao prvo neko od content kreatora uputi pažnju na ovako nešto. Bitno je da vi kao gledalci, kao roditelji, kad vidite ovako nešto, podržite te content kreatore. Klikovima na like, upravo to, da, i subscribe i sve to. Sve to je jako bitno. I onda, ta informacija, ako plane dovoljno jako, ima da izbije na televiziji, ima da izbije na vestima, ni to YouTube-u neće značiti nešto kao što smo videli, ali onda će sponzori da povuku svoje sponzorstva, onda će ih boleti po džepu i to je ta procedura koja treba da se desi i evo vam primer, evo kako se to rešava. Jedini način, znači sve je do profita, boli njih, ona stvar za vašu decu. Pa vi vidite koliko ćete da dajete deci telefone u ruke i da gledaju samostalno što god oni hoće.
YouTube, years later, would also get fined $170 million by the FTC, partially for having such a glaring issue with their quote-unquote kids content and child safety rules. As a result of this, YouTube would also update their guidelines to ban any inappropriate use of, quote, family entertainment characters, and also implement a brand new labeling system, forcing creators to decide whether or not their videos are made for kids. If a video is determined to be made for kids, it will lose a majority of features that normal videos have, such as the comment section, and most importantly, personalized ads and a majority of ad revenue. But if that's the case, then how are these channels, which are clearly targeted towards children, still able to make so much money?
Stvarno dobro pitanje. Znači i dalje sve postoji.
It really doesn't matter what option the creator chooses, as both types of content, even ones specifically marked as not for kids, actively get recommended through the YouTube Kids app, as long as the video looks family friendly enough.
Znači opcija koja ne vredi ništa. Oni su stavili neku opciju čisto da vam zamažu oči i u suštini dalje sve isto, apsolutno isto funkcioniše. Bez obzira na tu opciju, imali ili nemali, šta god stavili.
By loading up the thumbnail with a bunch of bright colors and swapping out any potentially dangerous words like rape with prank or with love curse, it will get recommended just the same. And there's a really easy way to prove this that you can do yourself. Just go to literally any of the channels I've mentioned so far, click on a random video, and take a look at the engagement on the actual video. For example, this video has 213,000 views, yet only 1,100 likes and only 40 comments. This is because when you watch a video on YouTube Kids, it doesn't have any of the extra buttons or features. It only allows you to watch the video. But since the video is still coming from YouTube, it still counts as a view. And the
znači na YouTube Kidsu oni nemaju tamo pravo ni da lajkuju, ni da komentarišu, samo da gledaju.
Only engagement that's actually getting left on the video is from other kids using the regular YouTube app, probably using their parents' account. And
zato, da. Zato što nemaju svoje naloge, onda koriste naloge svojih roditelja i onda imaju pravo da ostave komentar na regularnom YouTube. Bukvalno gledaju u stvari to na regularnom YouTube, zato što ih ne prepoznaje kao dete. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell by the quality of the comments here. Kind of funny how even though YouTube implemented these supposed changes to make the platform safer, it appears it's now easier than ever to run one of these content farms. Due to its simple editing style, low production costs, hell, even the recent developments in AI technology, specifically for voice lines.
Uvek zaboravim, brate, za AI, znači to danas sad postaje ultra gore. Zato što mogu da prave takve videozapise brzinom munje sada i samo da štancaju, da izbacuju. Ovo je katastrofa, ovo je sad sve gore i gore. Ovo ne može biti dobro. Ja ne znam šta će biti sa ovim internetom i sa nama i sa decom, više nemam pojma, ovo je previše.
Text to speech, it's no problem for a single person with no moral compass and enough free time to start operating a network of these channels, pumping out dozens of these videos a week, all while facing absolutely zero public repercussion or backlash and remaining completely anonymous. In other words, it's the perfect crime.
Za sad. Zato što imaju YouTube-ovu zaštitu, zato je perfektan. Inače ne bi bio da YouTube ima ugrađene moralne vrednosti, a ne samo profitabilne vrednosti.
Step back for a moment and explore a rather outlandish question. What if the owner actually wants to be found? This is Neil. For the sake of anonymity, that's obviously not his real name, but as you can probably guess by now, Neil makes a living by owning and operating one of these Minecraft kids' content farms. However, for many reasons we'll dive into shortly, they might just be the worst of the worst. Because it's one thing to upload this disgusting content with the goal of monetary gain, but what's even more worrying and truly vile is owning channels like these, then trying to communicate with your audience and lure them off the site. Earlier this year, on January 26th, a YouTuber named The Beak uploaded a video showcasing his discovery of a very strange set of channels which impersonate characters from the Amazing Digital Circus, a very popular children's animated series on YouTube, which, for whatever reason, has absolutely taken off and garnered over 500 million views in just the first 2 full-length episodes. In other words, it's just another example of these channels exploiting familiar and trusted family-friendly characters for views, and tricking children into watching content that is all but family-friendly. Let's take a quick look at what Neil thinks is acceptable to post.
Buraz. Sunđer Bob isto. Lovo, brate, mile, ovo su XXX kontenti za decu, čoveče.
Every single thumbnail, every single video on all of these channels completely violate YouTube's content guidelines. However, this isn't even the weirdest part. In his video, The Beak discovered that both of these channels advertised a link which invited anybody who clicked on it the ability to directly message Neil on Telegram, a messaging platform infamous for its
znam za Telegram, brate, preko Telegrama je svašta nešto dolazilo. Znam i ja kad sam nekad tako pisao komentare nekim većim tim kreatorima, stigne mi tako kao neka poruka da odem na Telegram, nešto, to nemojte slučajno da klikćete, to su budalaštine kakve, ali to uopšte nisu poruke od tog content kreatora, to je scam, prevara.
Focus on privacy, with messages sent over there having end-to-end encryption and being, for the most part, completely untraceable. Yet, sometime after the Beak's video was posted, the owner suddenly removed these Telegram links and changed the contact email for both of the Pomni and Jack's channels. Interesting. Now, I'm not trying to assume the worst here, but I really can't find a reasonable explanation as to why an owner of multiple channels which make over-sexualized Minecraft content targeted towards very young children would ever need to include a direct messaging feature in their About Me section, and more importantly, why would they feel the need to delete the Telegram link almost immediately after being exposed about it? While assumptions can be made, we may never truly know the answer. I was still pretty curious about this Neil guy though, so I did a bit more digging around. Eventually, I had the idea to paste the channel's original email address into the YouTube search bar, which brought me to a whole bunch more of these channels that he owned, impersonating even more YouTubers like Afmal and Ryzen. And I decided to try the same tactic with this new email and found yet another impersonation channel he owned which contains another sketchy link, this time leading to a Ko-fi page that sells NSFW content of their characters, which, of course, comes with another direct messaging feature. And just to confirm that despite all the changes, these channels are still owned by the same person. They both use the exact same AI text-to-speech voices and music in their videos.
Pomni, please lather up with the washcloth and also this part of my back.
Okay, Jax, but you're already very clean. You have no idea how long I've been waiting for this. jump onto my bed and strip off all your clothes.
The thumbnails all have the exact same, very specific art style, as if, you know, they were commissioned by the same artist. The titles are all very similar, often using the same set of keywords across all channels, like what is he planning and what is he up to. Also, all of the channels were created roughly around the same time in mid to late 2023.
Ma
It's a
da,
common theme
sve
for
ih je
all of
napravio
these
jedanput i
YouTube
krenuo
automation
biznis.
people and content farms to start all of their channels at once. And that's exactly what happened here, with the Jax and Hasbin Hotel channel even being created on the same day. And most importantly, the NSF
Čoveče, oni su samo pokrenuli odjedanput, znači skontali su foru i udri, ko zna koliko ih je tako potvarao tih kanala i roka i druže. Ovaj se navato para, brate, na ovom bezobrazluku. Ja ne znam kako ovo nije kriminalno, ja stvarno ne znam kako ovo nije protivzakonito. Neko bi morao da reaguje, brate, na ovo stvarno.
FW Ko-fi page has perks.
Ako ne YouTube, onda država, Amerika, kogod već. Mislim, mora neko da reaguje, ovo je strašno. Kako je ovo moguće da je dozvoljeno, ja ne mogu da shvatim. Ne mogu,
listed in Russian writing, which just so happens to be the exact same language Neil's real first name is displayed on his old Telegram link. Inappropriate imitation channels, wildly obscene thumbnails, abhorrent YouTube shorts, weird content farm owners that advertise NSFW Patreons and direct messaging features, the long-repeated negligence of YouTube, and the result of it all, the potential danger and long-lasting mental health issues of millions of children around the world. This is the Minecraft Kids content rabbit hole.
Je, ovo nisam
Yet
očekivao.
one unanswered question remains.
Od
What does the
Minecraft
end game
content.
of this issue look like? Will it ever reach a boiling point? Will YouTube ever step in? And how do we fix this?
Well, I think either A, that too many of the people making the videos will end up getting falsely flagged or demonetized, and then they just stop making the videos because they can't make money from it anymore. Or B, it somehow gets like significant media attention to the point where they actually decide to take action. Because I feel like right now, no one really knows about this stuff or really cares, right? You never hear about it. So I think those are the two options. I don't think anything's really...
Ne znam, zato što roditelji nemaju vremena da se bave time i retko ko dođe i da vidi ovakav neki video zapis. Evo, kažem zato ko ima prilike da vidi ovako nešto, podržite. Jer svakim vašim klikom na like i subscribe ili vašim komentarisanjem takođe ovaj video odskače i bude preporučivan drugim ljudima. I to tako funkcioniše. Znači, na vama je da se ovaj video raširi.
gonna change because I feel like they don't have any reason to change anything, right?
Nemaju razloga dok god, kao što smo videli, sponzori ne povuku svoje sponzorstva. A pre toga mora svašta nešto se izdešava, kao prvo roditelji moraju da se pobune. Znači, do te mere da izbije u medijima, na vestima, gde god. Znači, samo da bude boom. Tako da, ne YouTube da se iscima od toga, nego sponzori koji će onda raskačiti svoje sponzorstva, onda će YouTube da reaguje, pošto, može, brate, pare su u pitanju.
There it is. YouTube, at this current moment, throwing all morals and ethics aside, has no reason to change or fix this issue. Not exactly the resolution you and I were probably hoping
Nema
for.
kad se ćuti. I kad god ćutite u vezi bilo čega, niko neće ništa odreagovati, neće rešavati. Niko ne misli o moralnim vrednostima, niko ne misli o vama, svi misle o svojoj guti, o svom džepu, o svom profitu. To je svuda tako.
Fortunately, it's the honest truth. If you're somehow a parent or sibling of someone who might be at risk of this content, my best advice
Pa svi
is to
imamo
simply
nekog.
monitor what they're
Ja bih
watching
rekao.
online. And if that's too hard, just delete the app entirely and let them watch like
Baš.
Arthur or something, I don't know. And lastly, thank you for watching.
Brate, na kraju downloadujte mu nešto i ne gleda ono što vi mislite da treba da gleda i to je to. Ljudi, ne bi ništa više odugovlačio, sve sam rekao usput, ovaj video je malo duži nego inače. Da se ne ponavljam, eto i on je rekao na kraju sumu sumarum, sve na vama u suštini, kogod, kažem opet, klikne ovde, podržite ovo, šerujte ovaj video takođe svojim prijateljima koji bi mislite trebali da znaju u vezi ovoga nešto. U suštini svi smo zajedno u ovom timu, ukoliko sarađujemo timski, mogli bi nešto da napravimo i da popravimo u ovom svetu. Ovo su stvarno strašne stvari. Mislim, nažalost, živimo u takvom vremenu, da li je nažalost, ne znam, živimo u takvom vremenu gde imamo tu određenu tehnologiju i taj internet i te telefone i veštačku inteligenciju i sad svašta nešto, stvarno moramo biti obazrivi, ekstremno obazrivi. Znam da se nema vremena, ali mora da se nađe malo vremena za ovako nešto. Ovo je isuviše bitno. Jer lepo što ste vi napravili dete ili rodili dete, kako god, ali imate i dalje obavezu prema tom detetu da ga izvedete na put, da ga razvijete u čoveka, da kad odraste stasa na svoje noge i zna šta se dešava. Da ne bude umno zakržljalo, mutavo ili poremećeno na neki način. To niko ne želi. Dakle, raširite ovu priču, zveknite like, zveknite subscribe. Ukoliko vam se sviđa sve ovo što radim, takođe aktivirajte i ono notifikaciono zvonce da vas obaveštava kad god izađe moj novi video. Trudim se da pronađem ovako neke zanimljive stvari, ujedno i jako bitne stvari za sve nas, tako da bit će svašta na ovom kanalu i za vas, dragi gledaoči. Vidimo se u nekoj drugoj reakciji i čuvajte se, čuvajte svoju decu, pazite šta gledaju. Ćao, ćao.